Hello, Professor. I'm Jason Bicano, your student in ATH 101 Pentecostal Theology. So, among the Pentecostal theology or doctrine, I'm going to present the Pentecostal Hermeneutics, which is also I am interested with in studying in SUM. So, a good way to understand is to understand the Pentecostal Hermeneutics is to understand also the six questions or six subtitles or six distinctive views of Pentecostal hermeneutics. So I'm going to present the six subtitles or differences among the other denominations. So the first one is exegetical method. So there are various questions like what a Pentecostal hermeneutics is not. It is simply stated at the level of the exegetical method. Pentecostals follow the same basic historical grammatical methods. One of the negative impression of other denominations that the Pentecostal does not follow historical grammatical methods. So, as other conservative evangelical interpreters, we also follow these methods. In fact, because in the model I am proposing here, issues of personal and historical experiences along with theological biases are addressed separately from questions of method. So I will contend that at this basic level of exegetical method, so this is the basic method, which is the discovering what a text means. All the interpreters take the same approach when they do their work correctly. And also the Pentecostal hermeneutics reject the pluralism. It is ensures when the language and logic of the Bible are taken to be culture specific. So the second one is the rule of the Holy Spirit. So there is a distinctive between the views of other denominations in terms of interpreting the Bible and for the Pentecostals. So all the conservative interpreters contend that there is a pneumatic dimension to interpretation. So the Holy Spirit must illuminate the understanding of the interpreter. So I also remember these terms illuminate in the previous course in SUN. So Pentecostal hermeneutics does not claim that the Holy Spirit gives some kind of special insights unavailable to non-Pentecostals, because there are also some Pentecostal writers said that um, the Holy Spirit illuminates only for the Pentecostals. But personally, I also believe that the Holy Spirit also illuminate to the non-Pentecostals. Okay, but it also hinders based on our doctrine that we believe in. The third one is the genre. In a good Pentecostal hermeneutics, the narratives are seen as didactic and are used to build theology. So many evangelical scholars argue that the propositional literature in the Bible should have priority over the narrative. So even to the extent that unless there is a propositional teaching on the subject, the narrative should not be used. The third one is personal experience. When commenting on the hermeneutics of the Pentecostals, it is by now commonplace to quote Gordon Fees. This is also one of the famous writer. I also remember this one in the previous course, like interpreting the Bible. So according to Gordon Fee's observation that Pentecostals tend to exegete their experience rather than the text. So this is meant a criticism, and but it points out something of vital importance to all interpreters. So Pentecostals are not unique in this regard. So all interpreters do it, while I take serious exemption to much of what the new hermeneutics claims. So it is correct in pointing out that the reader is hindered or assisted by the extent to which this experience is similar to or different from the biblical materials. So this works against those who have not experienced those things the Bible records, but it helps understand among those who have similar experiences. Number five, historical experience. So the difference between Pentecostals and others is that they use the real life experience with an awareness and admission of and the fact and the belief. It is appropriate step in a legitimate hermeneutics. So this is connected to their appreciation of the historical narratives and ecclesiology that sees God functioning throughout the church age in the same way as he did in the first century. And then lastly, number six, theological presuppositions or doctrinal acceptance. So this is the view that there is a continuity of the ways in which God works in the world from the time of the resurrection to the second coming. From the resurrection to the second coming. So this views informs much of the Pentecostals thought. So Pentecostals believe in the baptism of the Holy Spirit that empowers people for service as in the early church. Okay? And along with this, they believe that God does miracle today, and the Holy Spirit, as the baptizer, is the agent in the life of the believers by which these miracles occur. So these are the six distinctive with the Pentecostal hermeneutics. So for the conclusion, in general, it seems Pentecostals have developed a method of interpretation that incorporates some of the legitimate concerns of postmodern literary criticism, including the new hermeneutics and reader centered literary criticism, while retaining a high commitment to the truth and authority of the Bible and its relevance to the church today. So, the intended meaning of the original author are still considered to be primary, and the meanings gained through the historical or the grammatical study are seen as the objective, not as subjective, and universally authoritative. So, however, a proper understanding of those meanings cannot be gotten without dealing with appropriately with the other five parts of the hermeneutical structure. So, a Pentecostal hermeneutics will helps in this process. Once again, thank you so much, Professor, for having this time or for listening to this oral presentation. Bye bye. Thank you.